Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to play aggressive on CT and Dust 2. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the best way CTs can play aggressive in Dust are from middle. So in my opinion, the worst idea to make is to leave B site open. The reason for that is that B site is typically a very difficult site to retake. Doesn't matter if it's a 1v1 or a 3v3 or a 5v5 or any other scenario. It's always going to be really difficult to win the retake. That's why I usually always recommend to keep a person in B site just for safety. However, if you do still want to risk it, you can do this strat. So let's say player 1 starts in this position. He will be running towards middle doors. He will stop close to the left door and then press D. He will cross around and he will quickly spot the person in suicide. If there is a sniper there, he of course will not continue to push, because when you do this peek, enemies usually expect you to be peeking like so and running towards lower tunnel, or rather top mid. So if you do get spotted in this scenario, I personally suggest to fall back like so and just camp or continue to play in B. However, if you don't get spotted and you spot no one there, then you can continue your push. There are two ways of pushing in middle. You can push top mid by throwing this simple molly. You run around the door, and simply while running until you reach the Xbox, you can run and throw the molly, aiming anywhere around this area. When you throw this molly, it lands ideally on this, which causes enemies to be blocked and not push mid at all. So let's say you throw this molly, what then? You can continue to push mid. You can quickly clear suicide. If you are ready, you can throw a smoke to cover it off, and then continue to hold this. If you are holding this, in my opinion, the best way to take control is to ask for your teammate who's playing in short, or aka the third person who's throwing the flash in long, as I discussed in the previous video, who jumps up here and covers you for lower tunnel. This is the best setup, because you are standing here holding this area while this, and then your teammate, who is also here in catwalk, is holding lower tunnel. This was part 1 of what you can do. Another option is to, instead of throwing the molly, just quickly run towards lower tunnel out with your knife until you reach this position. Because of spawns and timings, you might be caught if you peek with your knife out in here. So that's why, in my opinion, when you run towards here, you should strafe to the left and then pull out your weapon. However, if you do peek close wall, you might have a disadvantage. So another way of peeking it is to pull your gun out earlier before that. Then, in my opinion, you can do two things. The most popular thing to do is jump up this box quickly and then hold it. The reason is, usually Ts don't expect you to be in lower tunnel, and they can be making a lot of noise. That way you can call rather if you hear a lot of people running B tunnel, or just several people camping in tunnel waiting for timings, or maybe trying to clear lower tunnel. This is an ideal spot if you want to clear corners and gain a lot of info in B side. Another way of playing the situation instead is to continue the push. However, if you do continue the push, keep in mind that you should focus on this angle first, since it's the first contact angle, and then later on you can clear this angle if anyone has quickly crossed to the right. However, if you are gonna commit to a push, you should commit as early as possible, because if you stand here, wait a couple of seconds and then start to push, Ts will definitely set themselves up in better positions. They might be in this corner, might be still camping here, or even in here, and that would result in you clearing a lot of corners unnecessarily. So in my opinion, the best way to go towards lower tunnel is to pull your gun out here and rather play for info or push up close and clear this corner, then slightly clear this corner, and then continue to focus on this angle. If you clear this, you can also try to clear this side. If you clear it fully, you have full info that lower is clear and tunnels are also clear. That way you can run back towards B. If there was a teammate here, then it's perfect. If not, you can still check the side just in case anyone lurked. But at the end of the day, you can still run back towards middle and play on with this info. When you have this info, it's amazing what it can do. You can instantly expect them to do an A execute, since B tunnel is really free. The only thing you could be expecting is for them to reaggress from middle towards lower tunnel. This might be an option that T's tend to do. If that happens, and if you know that it's not a full A commit, you should still stay close to B side just in case. It's also optional to throw the smallie if you want to fake that you're taking mid, but instead you go lower. You can also throw it, however it's not useful utility since you don't really play off of it and take control. So I wouldn't recommend to use it, but sometimes you can throw people off if you do it. In the situation where you play for info, you can also, after some time, play closer here, or even take some cover from middle, since T's might be pushing catwalk or even Xbox, so instead you should maybe play here after some time, or ideally if you hear no sound, you can slightly push to clear the corners, just to make it a bit more difficult for the T's when they're taking lower tunnel or middle. You can also, if you enter lower tunnel, play this angle and just play a safe angle. This angle is also very useful because you can hear info from lower tunnel and you can also hear a lot of info happening in middle, which you can call if you have a teammate who is playing with an op and holding very good angles. For example, let's take this angle. If the opper in your team is holding these common angles anywhere from catwalk towards suicide or even towards this corner or even Xbox, this is very useful because it covers you and you can also play around the info and give your teammate the info as well. If you have a smoke, there's also a very good escape route if you're pushing towards lower tunnel. If you do get spotted somehow from suicide or from lower tunnel and you know that you're not gonna win the fight, you can throw a random smoke that bounces off of Xbox and quickly run back. Or you can wait some time to get the timing off when the T's spam you out and then run towards double doors. You can also use the smoke as a fake. If you throw the smoke and stay in this corner, you might fake out some T's, but overall I think the best way to use the smoke in this situation is for an escape route. You can also just throw the smoke and just quickly shift to the corner here and watch catwalk. This position is also good if you want to catch people on timings on off guard. Maybe they can jump up to Xbox and you can still catch them on timings as well. And when the smoke starts to fade, you can just simply go back to the corner. Just make sure when you run back to double doors, you don't go through this corner. As you see, when this smoke is thrown, you might be spotted from catwalk as so. So just in case, I suggest running towards this right corner and waiting out for some time, and then only maybe just running back. So there is a boost strat that you can do with your teammate in short. The strat is simple. You and your teammate quickly jump up to short, and then your teammate has to give you this boost. While you hold lower tunnel with the up, your teammate is holding catwalk. However, this strat includes an up, so make sure that one of you buys it. Thank you everyone for watching this video. This was the best spawn opportunities on Dust 2 as a CT in CS2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.